who is right now on the board.
And Lynn, she's preparing to do an inward 2.5 somersaults pike, 2.8 degree of difficulty. It's very windy, and she's standing backwards trying to keep her balance. It was a nice dive. It splashed a little bit short of vertical, but a very nice dive.
She is doing very well. We're right behind her after 6 rounds. In 5th place, the American Wendy Williams, and in 7th place, Wendy Williams, also from the USA. The 7th round of 8 10-meter platform dives here in the women's competition. Up on top, Wendy Williams, 20 years old. She trains with the Miami Hurricanes.
And Lynn, it's like a hurricane out here right now. Wendy's trying to get her balance on the end of the platform. She's doing a reverse 2.5 somersaults tuck, 2.7 degree of difficulty.
Now, what will she have to do to adjust with this kind of breeze coming by?
Well, the best thing she can do is be aggressive and assertive coming off the platform and not let that wind bother her. She did. That was a beautiful dive. She barely washed over on the entry, but a very, very strong jump and a nice finish.
Wendy Williams. She likes to be very up above the competition, relaxed and comfortable.
I love this jump. It's very strong. She reaches all the way up, gets her knees up right away. She completes 1 somersault before she passes that 10-meter. She uses those visual references well, looks back for the water, and barely washes past vertical. Nice dive.
Very excellent dives. You see that reflected in her score, and her total, 361.32. But up on the platform right now is Chen Xiaodan.
This is the most difficult twisting optional being done in the contest. That was a reverse 1.5 somersault with 3.5 twists. No other woman is performing that dive. It was a good dive. It wasn't a great dive. She was a little bit wobbly in the twist.
She's in 1st place in the competition coming into this round of 8 dives, round number 7. You see the replay there.
We saw her a little bit sideways, turned sideways as she left the platform, and we see that her legs and her knees are not quite stretched in the air. And I think that's the reason why she got more 7s, 7.5s than 8s.
But keep in mind, at age 14, she is one of the top divers in the world.
That's right, Lynn, and I don't see anybody beating her.
Now, we've been telling you about the wind as we go up to the platform right now to watch Elena Miroshina, who is defending champion here. She is going to do a handstand dive.
She doesn't seem to have a problem getting up in the handstand and holding it. She just has to demonstrate control, and she has done that. It was a nice dive. She had a little bit of a twist going in the water, and I think the judges will definitely take off for that.
Elena Miroshina, 13 years of age. Her home is Moscow. She won the platform at the East German Internationals in March 1987 with a world record of 508.65.
Lynn, let's see if we can see this twist as she enters the water, and that's why she got 1.6.5. There it is. Her feet twisted a little bit to one side as she entered the water.
Now, how much can you say was legitimately the wind on that dive?
Well, I don't know if the wind could really move her in the air. I think psychologically it's worse than what it can physically do.
That was Yanmei from China.
Xu just did a reverse 2.5 somersault tuck that was absolutely beautiful.
She was in 3rd place. 2 10s on that dive.
This dive is superior. I see her legs apart as she leaves the platform and during the somersault, but there is nothing wrong with this entry. She goes in the water vertical and sucks all the water in with her. That's a rip.
She does an excellent job on that dive. There you see 2 10s in that score, 9s, 9.5. After 7 rounds in the women's 10-meter platform diving championships, holding down 1st place, Chen Xiaodan of China. In 2nd place, her compatriot has moved up from 3rd, Yanmei. Elena Miroshina from the Soviet Union in 3rd, Maria Alcala from Mexico in 4th, and Wendy Williams in 5th place, and Wendy Williams has moved up from 7th into 6th for the USA. We'll be right back with the 8th and final round. Dive. She started diving 8 years ago and is now Mexico's #1 female tower diver.
Lynn, she's performing a back 1.5 somersaults with 2.5 twist. 2.8 degree of difficulty. Not the highest degree of difficulty for an optional dive, but she and Wendy Williams are fighting a battle for a medal right now, and they have the same degree of difficulty in this last round.
When you don't have a high degree of difficulty dive, it means that you have to land it perfectly to get the maximum score.
It was a very good entry. It was a little bit loose in the air with her body and her feet, but a very nice dive.
For a 16-year-old international competitor, she is handling the pressure extremely well. She gets a very, very good dive and excellent scores. This is Wendy Williams of the United States. She won the 1988 U.S. Indoor National Platform Championship, and Cynthia Pollard had a chance to talk to her earlier to find out if she has become comfortable with that title.
I'm trying not to let it go to my head. Winning that national title was something I always knew I could do. I was beginning to wonder if I ever would. And once I did, it's like, okay, I did it. Let's put it behind me. And I'm still trying to follow the same path I did all year, which is I try not to go into workout every day thinking soul. I just go in, I have a good time, and there are days when things aren't going right, and I'll just leave. I don't believe in beating my head against a wall. And at the Nationals, I was just trying to keep a smile on my face and have fun, and that's usually when I do the best.
Wendy Williams, 20 years old. Her coach, Scott Reich, down here in Miami, is molding her. She's a happy girl. She likes to be up. She doesn't like to be down about anything that she does, and she seems to be holding that.
That's right, Lynn. She's very pleasant to be around these days. I think it really illustrates her attitude. She's doing an inward 2.5 somersaults pike. She's going to spin inwards towards the tower. Now you can see that she stepped forward. That's because it's very, very gusty up there, and she doesn't want to get set until she's sure that she's going to go. She wants to be aggressive, she wants to be strong, but she wants to have that stable position.
She needs a 71.64 score to overtake Alcala.
And I think she might get it. That was a great dive. A beautiful inward 2.5 pike with no splash on the entry.
We'll take another look at it in super slow motion.
We see her throw her arms as she leaves the tower. A nice dive, perfect distance from the platform. She comes around, grabs her hands to enter the water, and goes just a wee tad past vertical on the entry.
She didn't get quite enough to overtake Alcala. She's still in 4th place. Now our leader on the platform from China, Chen Xiaodan.
Back 3 1/2 somersaults tuck, 3.3 degree of difficulty. Oh my, that was the most difficult back spinning dive that's being performed, and she did it beautifully.
And you saw that entry, very little splash, and of course when you're only 4'11" and 66 pounds, you're not going to disturb the water too much.
This girl takes off, and she reaches and gets those knees up right away. We see her feet are a little bit flat in that tuck, but it doesn't seem to affect her kick out and reach back for the water. That is a gorgeous dive, no matter who does it.
Well, she did an excellent job and received good scores, 8s, 8.5s across the board. But right now, Elena Miroshina from the Soviet Union. And Cynthia, she is not a big girl either.
No.
4'9 1/2", 75 pounds.
They're all just little sprites, and this is a very tough dive, too. Back 1.5 somersaults with 3 1/2 twists. She absolutely ripped it, put it away. Great dive.
She's going to need a big dive to come from 3rd to move up into 2nd or 1st place to overtake the 2 Chinese divers. Now, right now up the top is Yanmei. She came into this round in 2nd place, not far behind her compatriot, only about 40 points away.
She needs a big dive, though. This is a back 2.5 somersault pike. It is 4/10 less degree of difficulty than the dive her teammate did. 2.9 as compared to 3.3. No, she did not do it. She went short of vertical. I think she was a little bit too close to the platform when she spun by it.
Well, she needed a big dive.
Let's watch this takeoff and see how close she is. She jumps up real straight, almost looks like she's coming back underneath the platform. She loses control by doing that, and she goes short of vertical, landing more on her back than straight up and down.
Okay, Yanmei, we take a look at her score. As you see, she did not get enough to get into 1st place. As a matter of fact, she may have dropped back into 3rd on that last dive. Here are the final standings for the Women's 10-meter Platform Championship. In 1st place, Chen Xiaodan from China, an excellent exhibition of diving. In second, Elena Miroshina of the Soviet Union. In third place from China, Yanmei. From Mexico in fourth place, Maria Alcala. And in fifth place, Wendy Williams of the U.S., followed by Wendy Williams. Coming up later on this afternoon, live coverage of the men's